and a very warm welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Good evening.
My name is Amrit Kaur, and I am the acting Sergeant at Arms. Imitation is limitation. Well, I am here not to imitate Shreya, the actual Sergeant at Arms, but I am here to try my best to emulate her, and I hope I am successful in that. As the Sergeant at Arms, it is my duty to share the 3 things which we are not supposed to do during a Toastmasters meeting. But we love to do those things otherwise. 1, we love to talk on phone. But during the meeting, I request everyone to either switch off their phones or put the phones on silent. Please give me a thumbs up once you are done. Thank you. And the next is, we love to gossip about politics, sex, and religion. But here, during the meeting, I request all the speakers to avoid speaking on these topics so we do not hurt anyone's sentiments. And finally, we also love to walk around. But when there is a speaker on the stage, please do not move around. And if you have to enter or exit, please do it when you hear an applause. Are we all set with the rules?
Yes.
Thank you. All right, so if I can ask, how many of you are football enthusiasts? Anyone? Few? 3, 4? Okay. I'm not sure if you have heard about Jose Mourinho. Jose Mourinho, he's a Portuguese and the most successful manager in the history of football. He has managed some of the best clubs like Chelsea and Real Madrid and Manchester United, and he has helped them to win the games. Now, like Jose, we have our own Jose. And like Jose Mourinho, who is the most successful manager, we all know how highly effective he has been managing the Bangalore Toastmasters Club. Now, and just not managing the club, he's also, like in his blood, in his Malu blood, he has football. Like football runs in his blood. And in his free time, he loves kicking balls. I mean to say, like, he loves playing football. So ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome our special one, the President of Bangalore Toastmasters Club, Jose Paul.
Thank you, Amrit, for that wonderful introduction. Comparing me to the legendary Jose Mourinho is unbelievable. Okay, yeah, I share the name. Of course, an Indianized version of the name. Thank you very much. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and guests. A very warm welcome to the Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Good evening.
I call to order meeting number 1455. Let's hear it. The minutes of the previous meeting, that is meeting number 1454, was shared on the group by our Secretary, Toastmaster Prakarsh. I request him to share a few highlights of the meeting. Please withhold your applause till the minutes are passed. Toastmaster Prakarsh.
Good evening, dear members and guests.
Good evening.
Last meeting, meeting number 1454, held on 15th November 2024, there were 27 members and 7 guests present during the meeting. The theme of the meeting was Fire Within. The word of the day was Ignite, to catch fire. For example, members, there is some buzz igniting and spreading around really fast. It's actually about to take off. Any guesses? The upcoming committee elections. The best speaker went to Toastmaster Vivek Vijayan. The best evaluator went to DTM Dr. Rajdeep Manwani. The best role taker went to DTM Vijayanand. The best table topic speaker went to Toastmaster Ganesh. And the best tag team player went to Toastmaster Aranya. To know more, visit our YouTube channel, Bangalore Toastmasters Club.
Members, are the minutes of the meeting in order?
Yes.
The minutes of meeting number 1454 stands passed. I see some guests here. May I request them to please rise? Right. Dear members, let's hear a warm round of applause for our guests. Thank you all for taking your time off to visit us here, and I'm sure that it will be a wonderful evening that we're going to spend here, full of learnings. And we will share more about Toastmasters following this meeting, and that will help you. Please take a seat. And now I may request our committee members to please rise. Dear guests, these are our committee members, and they would support you in any of your needs to enroll or information that you need to enroll into the Toastmasters. And we would have a specific session a short session briefing on Toastmasters soon after this meeting by our VP membership, Toastmaster Brian Sosa. Right? Can you please take a seat? Thank you. The 1968 Mexico City Olympics became famous not only for the black power salute by two American athletes, but also because this Olympics had revolutionized the technique in high jumping. From the initial scissor style, the straddle roll technique was the most dominant style that were used by the high jumpers till the 1968 Olympics. It involved the athlete to have their face forward and jump, twisting mid-air over the bar and landing on their feet or back. But in 1968, American high jumper Dick Fosbury delivered himself over the bar in such a manner that shocked the coaches across the world. He went face and shoulders, head and shoulders first, going over on his back over the bar, and then landing on the back of his neck. He went on to win the gold and also set an Olympic record with that jump. Well, he was it was a very novel way, highly dangerous way. But he was very lucky because from the earlier days when the landing pits were filled with either sawdust or with sand mixtures, it was the comfort of the soft foam that was there afterwards. Well, initially, even Fosbury was not a good jumper. With the straddle style, he could not even get into his local athletic club's high jump team. But then he discovered this technique. He deployed it, practiced, and perfected it. Actually, the Fosbury style was a game changer, literally. He actually just twisted the existing technique and it changed the way high jumpers approached the high jump forever. And it came to be called as the Fosbury flop. I think there cannot be another greater change or influence in a technique in sports than the Fosbury flop. And change or originality, or rather originality is something that is valued so much everywhere because it is the real reason for breakthroughs and evolution and advancements. Even in our personal life, I think originality is a necessity because it defines our attitude, our character, and our identity. It is a way that describes who we are. So, originality actually breaks limitation and helps us go beyond ourselves. We are Toastmasters and guests. Original or originality, what helps really foster is better listening and better thinking. And if you can become a better speaker, then your voice can be heard and the world is all yours. So, I would request all of you to be your own self and work on that and develop that, and you should see a big difference in your life. We have amongst us a Toastmaster who had a very innovative way of dealing with the table topics during the table topic session. He used to almost always disagree on the topic's statement that was given and then deliver a message which he really wanted to deliver by connecting it to whatever he wanted to deliver. And he started walking away with the best table topic speaker in all the meetings. So it was actually not a flop. And this style later came to be known as Vaidyanathan. He is heading a vertical in this large conglomerate called Duraisamy, which is a hygiene company. And he is being the immediate past president of our club. Please, rather, he was the past president of our club. Please help me welcome the Toastmaster of the day, the ever smiling, the humorous, cool Toastmaster Vaidyanathan.
Is it clear? Loud and clear?
Yes.
Okay. I think there can't be a better example to this theme than the possibly flop that he spoke about. Now, every high jumper, who, irrespective of the competition, whether it is a school competition or whether it is the Olympics, it's possibly flop all the way. So I think excellent example for this theme. So I think the president deserves a round of applause. You know, it's been close to 4 months since I hit the stage. So since I came to Toastmasters Club. And absolutely thrilled and pleased with the way in which I could see smiling faces in front of me. Because this is one particular Toastmasters Club where you can see smiling faces in front of you. Because I recently was in Mumbai last week, the whole last week I was in Mumbai. I was in our annual conference and we had 5 days of continuous sessions, and in fact I was speaking almost every day. All that I could see was clean shaved face, suited and booted, but they didn't look as if they are going to hurt you. Glum faces. And a marked change when I came here. So that's why I love this club, Toastmasters. I love you all. Thank you very much. Now coming back to the theme, imitation is limitation. The theme is pretty simple and self-explanatory. That means when you imitate something, you will hit a dead end. Or there is a limiting factor which is involved. I was trying to check whether I can find something which is related to this particular theme when I was coming onto the stage. And I picked up one particular story which I think can connect very well to this. Because this is something in the year 1914 kind. And that was the time when the world was going through World War One. And those times, in those years, both United Kingdom as well as Germany, they were quite powerful when it comes to navy. They had a fleet of ships and they were fighting against each other. And people with a bit of bent of geographical knowledge will easily figure out that there is an Atlantic Ocean which separates Americas and then Europe, right? And in those days also, New York, Liverpool used to be a busy route for ships. So people used to travel by ships from New York to Liverpool. Liverpool is in England, New York obviously we all know that it's in the US. So in those days, the ships used to be massive and used to carry close to 1,500 to 2,000 people. And these were all operated using steam. So that means the steam is generated using boilers. Typically a ship will have 4 boilers. But the theory says all the 4 boilers, when you use it together, the ship propels faster because higher energy, higher steam, and then you reach the destination faster. But there is also an opportunity wherein you can switch down one of the boiler, so the speed of the ship reduces, you save energy, and the ship takes a bit more time to reach the destination. And here was one gentleman who was by name Turner. He was the sailor. He was sailing a ship from New York to Liverpool, carrying 1,200 people. Previously, he was working as an subordinate sailor, in which the main sailor used to switch off the 4th boiler just before reaching the destination, so that he crosses 3/4 of the distance using full steam, and when he was about to reach the shore, just one day before he used to shut down one boiler, so that it takes a lot of time but he saves energy. So this is something that he wanted to imitate. So Turner, with 1,200 people, started off from New York on the way to Liverpool. Just one day before he reached Liverpool, he shut down the 4th boiler and then he was sailing slowly, and that's when German submarine went underneath and they destroyed the ship. Right? So 1,200 people died. So this ship is called Lusitania, and then you can Google and then you can see one of the worst maritime disasters that you can ever think of in the history of mankind. 1,200 people died. It is not widely spoken as the way we used to speak about Titanic, but it is one of the deadly disasters. Why? The reason is he simply tried to imitate what his supervisor has taught him. Just copied what he was saying. Times were different. When he was the subordinate sailor, the world was at peace. But he just used the same techniques that he had learned and he applied when the world was in full swing. So that's why we need to be mindful of whatever we do. Just copy book, copy by whatever we say, whatever we see, and then whatever we hear is going to hit a dead end, and we will not only it will be limiting factor, it can be deadly as well. So that's why imitation is always not a trait which is going to take you places. But there are other examples where imitation also has taken people to greater heights, and I will use the story in a different Toastmasters meeting. But at this point in time, all that I can say is imitation is a limiting factor. Now coming to Toastmasters, I think this gentleman has learned the art of this particular dictum long back, because those were the days when imitation was not possible, because there was no other club which was present. There was no forum where you can practice public speaking. So that's why he started off his own club, which is called as the Toastmasters Club in Santa Ana in California. And over the past 100 years, this club has grown by leaps and bounds, and we have thousands and thousands of clubs, and we have millions of members, and who got support by friendly atmosphere like this, and they become better speakers and better leaders. And just for the sake of first timers who are coming here, a typical Toastmasters meeting will have 3 sessions. And the first session is called the prepared speech session, in which speakers come prepared. They deliver a speech based on certain project guidelines within a stipulated time. And the second session is called as a table topic session, in which a person is given a topic on the stage, The speaker has to speak on that particular subject for close to 2 minutes without any preparation. And the third one is called as evaluation session, in which the entire meetings get completely dissected by a seasoned Toastmaster. The general evaluator will provide us inputs by which we can improve the quality of the meetings. And today also we have a general evaluator. I'm not too sure. Okay, it's a basic karma, I believe. Whenever I'm the TMOD, she is the G. Whenever she is the TMOD, I'm the G. And this is not the second time, it is happening for the fourth time. Right? But trust me, I never knew that she is going to be the G. It's not that, I know that she is the G and then I have opted for TMOD. I got to know that she is the G 1 day before yesterday. But the thing is, she is a mathematics teacher and she loves students. And the best part about this particular Toastmaster is she has got amazing belief on her public speaking ability. And she has been a Toastmaster for close to a decade. And she says that she is in Toastmaster just to ensure that she becomes a better speaker every time she comes on stage. So ladies and gentlemen, for today we have with us a seasoned Toastmaster. As I said, she has been with us for close to 10 years. The general evaluator of the day, Toastmaster Rashi. Give her a big round of applause. And she will have a 3-member team called as a tag team. As a timer, we have Toastmaster Anand. Can you please read out your guidance, please?
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I am Toastmaster Aman and I am playing the role of timer. It is my duty to time and record the duration of the entire meeting. Today we have 3 icebreakers. So the timing guidelines for icebreaker is 4 minutes to 6 minutes. So when reaching 4 minutes, I will be displaying green card. Reaching 5 minutes, I will be displaying yellow card. After reaching 6 minutes, I will be displaying red card. In prepared speeches, speaker will be getting 30 minutes of grace period. After that, I'll be ringing this bell, which means it's time to vacate the premises. One more important information is, a speaker has to speak minimum for 4 minutes and maximum for 6 minutes, including the grace period of 30 seconds, in order to qualify for the votings. The other session is unprepared speeches, which we call it table topics. The timing guidelines will be 1 minute displaying green card, 1 minute 30 seconds displaying yellow card, and 2 minutes displaying red card. Speaker will get 15 seconds of grace period, and after that again the rank will bell. For evaluation, it will be 2 to 3 minutes, 2 minutes green, 2.5 yellow, and then 3 red. I will present my report when called upon. Over to you, Amrit.
Thank you. You don't need to vacate the premise. That's what he said. So what he's trying to say, get off the stage. And then as our counter, we have Toastmaster Mahesh.
Good evening, everyone. So as an counter, I'll be listening very carefully for the use of vocal pauses and crutch words such as if, you know, and repetitive words or phrases. I will keep a track of everyone and report at the end of the meeting who best controls the useful use of filler words. This evaluation starts at the beginning of the meeting and ends at the adjournment.
Thank you.
All the best to all the speakers.
So are we ready for the prepared speech?
Yes.
Yeah? Okay. So today it's going to be an icebreaker session. So that means all the three speakers who are going to come on stage are going to deliver the first project. Okay, people who are the guests for the very first time. Icebreaker is a speech in which a speaker comes here for the very first time to deliver a speech in front of a larger audience. So all the three speakers are going to deliver icebreaker, and the evaluation guidelines are going to be, the project guidelines are going to be the same. So I request the evaluator of the first speaker, Toastmaster Chaitra, to come on stage and read out the project guidelines, please. Or you can be there and then you can.
Good evening, everyone. The purpose of this project is for the member to introduce themselves to the club and learn the basic structure of a public speech. As the timer mentioned, the speech length is 5 to 6 minutes. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Since this is going to be an icebreaker speech in which the speaker is going to introduce himself or herself in front of the audience, I'm not going to introduce the speaker. So without much further ado, so let me invite our first 4 to 6 minutes. Yeah. So it's 4 to 6 minutes. There's a small correction. It's 4 to 6 minutes is the timing. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome the first speaker on stage, Toastmaster Anirudh.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters, respected TMOD, and dear guests.
Good evening.
Oscar Wilde once very famously said, "Be your authentic self, because everyone else is taken." I first heard this quote when I was actually much younger. And today, what I'm going to do is just try and be my authentic self in front of all of you. Growing up, I always grew up with a lot of complexes, a lot of negative thoughts about myself. That could be because of my social conditioning, that could be because I was part of this amazing school, just down the road actually, called Shreyas Boys School. And if you're short and dark in an all-boys school, it's not always kind. So growing up, I had deep-rooted insecurities within me. And I still remember very vividly, it was in my 7th standard that one teacher changed my life. Her name was Dr. Palgota. And then she gave me the opportunity once to be a class leader. With that, very slowly, but in a very, very small way, I built a small measure of confidence in myself. The next year, as is the case in Bishop Barton Boys School, every class comes on and presents on one specific day. They teach a learning, they teach something new, and in that, I had the opportunity to be a speaker. I rehearsed very intently, very deeply. I knew every word in and out. I knew that speech better than I knew my own name. And then I came out there and I gave that speech. And to my pleasant surprise, I received a thunderous applause. When I received this applause, something else in me changed. I got a slightly larger measure of confidence. From that point onward, Toastmasters, I became an MC. I MC'd for school, I MC'd for college, I MC'd for fests, I MC'd for sangeets, I MC'd for weddings. If there's an opportunity to hold a mic and go on stage, I took it. And over time, my confidence and my personality got built, very slowly. And then I thought to myself, okay, this MCing thing is starting to work out a little bit. What do I do next? And that's when I realized that there's an actual career for something like this. And you could be an RJ, or you could be a radio voiceover artist. So then, I found myself some radio voiceover classes. I went to those classes, and I did my very first radio ad. I'm going to try, back then, I would like to think I have a better voice, but I'm going to try and do that for you. And this was a radio voiceover ad for Dart Talent. And the ad goes like this. As a headache turned your life upside down, then you instantly need Dart Talent. Dart Talent for darting relief from headaches. Dart Talent. And then I realized, oh wow, this can also be a career. So then what I did was I realized I wanted to go into a field like advertising, because what I made was an ad. I realized, okay, maybe we could do with a career in advertising. And then I did my research. And as it turns out, back then, around 7-8 years ago, digital advertising was all the rage, right? Because internet penetration in India was really growing up. Every year, because of Jio, because of Vodafone, because of Airtel, we added 50 million new devices. Disposable income in the country was rising. People were buying smartphones, and digital advertising was booming. And that's when I thought, I need to get on this digital marketing track. And this so happened that my first job after college was Honda motorcycles. I really didn't like what I was doing there. And then one fine day, as I was using my Android smartphone, I read an article about how Google's the world's best employer. And once I read that, I just opened the Google website, I had a resume ready, and I applied. And then presto change, 6 months later, someone called Mr. Nagendra Reddy reaches out to me and says, hey, I'm a recruiter from Google. I honestly couldn't believe it. I thought it was some sort of scam. I was so shocked. But turns out, it was a real recruiter, and it was a real job. So then, I tried my luck again, went in with absolutely zero expectations, and somehow, through God's grace, through luck, I got that job. And once I had this job, I joined at a very, very entry-level position. And I slowly worked my way up. I got into sales, because the one thing that sales requires is confident communication and empathy, two of the skills that I believe I had. So I moved into the sales role and slowly worked my way up. First in India sales, then medium business sales, and then large business sales, and then now, finally, after everything else, I deal with startups. So if you're a startup in the country and you're looking to grow your business, you're looking to build your user base, you're looking to get retention from your users, that would be a problem statement that I have deep expertise to solve. Now, you might be wondering, what has all this got to do with Toastmasters? The very first day I walked in Toastmasters, I saw many of you take this stage and absolutely blow me away. I saw you come here and speak so confidently, so eloquently, that I got stunned. I realized, wow, this is amazing. The second day, the second time I came, I saw DTM Vaidyanathan sir come and make feedback seem like a song. I never, feedback such a dry, complex subject. No one likes to hear feedback, but he made it seem like a song. And the third time I came, I saw DTM Rashi sir come here, and I saw him use humor incredibly well. And that's when I realized, this is where I want to be. I know we say imitation is limitation, but breaking your limitations can only be done by inspiration, and that is why I am. Thank you all so much.
The fourth time when I came, I saw the TMOD by the art stage. And that's when I decided I will never come to the Bangalore. That's not something that you should do. Please do come. And the second speaker is going to be Toastmaster Aranya, and she's also going to break her ice today. So put your hands together to Toastmaster Aranya.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
I'm thrilled to be here. I'm Aranya. I hail from North Karnataka, but my life has been completely shaped in the vibrant city of Bangalore. While people call it the traditional family, I wasn't brought up in the traditional family. My life revolves around the three most important people: my mother, my uncle, and my dearest Amama. They are my cheerleaders, they are my supporters, and the mere reason of my foundation. I come from North Karnataka, as I said. North Karnataka is a blend of two traditions. One is the Marathi tradition, and one is the Karnataka tradition. And of course, the mouth-watering food there. The people around us are very hospitable, and while growing up in such richness, sparked an artistic love towards it. My mother being a dancer, and her love and ambition towards art, and to see art in anything and everything, deeply influenced me. Thanks to her, she gave me an obsession that never really stopped, and I don't think it's never gonna stop, because it happened so much so that I had to dive into the world of theatres for over 6 years. Not just being an artist, I'm also passionate about business and entrepreneurship. And I happen to open and run 2 businesses, which were a flop, obviously, but I wear those badges of failure with honor, because I believe that failure builds resilience in one's life. Also, being a part of the PS University, I am also a BBA in Business Analytics student. Also, I am a project manager and a HR consultant at the Forward AI company. Coming from the background of North Karnataka and its tradition, I mentioned that I am from the theatres background. I'd like to share a very small incident of my life which changed me. Obviously, everybody has their own challenges in their life, and I would like to share one challenge, which is that has anybody heard of the competition named Times Fresh Face around here? Yeah. I happened to participate in that prestigious event last year. I was excited to be a part of it and well prepped, but one thing that killed me was the lack of public speaking skills. And that failure hit me so hard that it lit a fire in me to learn something new, to learn public speaking. And that is where I got into Toastmasters, to learn and be a better person and also learn public speaking. After learning such, being in the speech craft and learning all the public speaking skills, I happened to participate in it again this year end, which I hope would turn out the best. And I'd like to conclude by saying that my life is filled with colors, culture, to empathize and to be humble and to dive deep into my roots and be a part of this Toastmasters Club so that I could be a better person and evolve as a person. Thank you.
Thank you. Aranya, there is no better place than Bangalore Toastmasters Club where you can hone your public speaking skills. By the way, you said that you are a HR consultant, right?
Yeah.
So do you recruit people?
Yeah.
How many people do you recruit in a month?
About 10.
10. So any jobs in this area? Can we all get to a number? So can you please note it down here?
Sure.
Okay, so you will have a HR consultant's number written on the blackboard. So anyone who is looking for a job, please do ensure that you speak to her today. 10 people in a month. Okay? Super, awesome. And now, let's move on to our third speaker. The third speaker is Shreyas, and she will be evaluated by Shreya. Shreyas on stage.
Good evening, Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
Being born and brought up in the Silicon Valley of India, I was born on 15 August 1987, exactly 40 years after our independence. This was the day when my mother got independence from me. But I'm still dependent on her for certain things. My dad, who was a BMTC employee, and mother and housewife, Through the struggles which he went through, he realized the importance of education in one's life. So he pushed me and persuaded me to go for good education. Through his foresightedness, I passed out as a computer science engineer. My siblings, a brother and sister, are also well educated and settled in Bangalore. As I grew up in Bangalore, I developed a small group of friends from the class 4 who are with me, evolving. We are all evolving together, and we are named as widow boys who don't leave each other. So they are the ones who showed me different flavors of life outside home. Well, you all know the crisis in 2008, the global financial crisis, where Lehman Brothers went bankrupt, which led to the series of bank failures. Very close to that, in 2009, I just passed out of my engineering college. I was pretty confident to see myself as a software engineer very easily. But once I went in search of a job, I just came to know that I was just a fish in the pond. But with God's grace, I somehow could clear the interview at Accenture and got an entry-level job as a software engineer at Accenture. That was the start, and from then I've started to swim in the IT profession for almost 14 years now. Through learning through the IT technical skills required to deliver my job on a day-to-day basis and managing my personal finances through it. In 2018, I got married. My wife Shruti, who is an MBA graduate and a good friend of my sister. But let me clarify, it was an arranged marriage. We were blessed together with 2 kids, Jishan, who is 7 years old, and Mamida, who is 3 years old. It was a roller coaster ride at home to manage both of them. But there are stress busters at home when we get back home. Cycling through the ups and downs, I plan to see myself as an IT architect in my career and plan to have a farm plot managed by me and have a small swimming pool close to it where I can play around with my kids. So let me narrate a small incident from my IT career which made me realize a few things. There was a stakeholder visit at our office. So stakeholders traveled all the way from Europe to here. So they had their project presentation, which was an upcoming project for us to take over. My director asked me to join him along with him to the boardroom to attend the meeting. The project presentation went well. Then later we had our turns to introduce one after the other to them. When it was my turn, I literally panicked and could not introduce myself so well. That's when I realized that public speaking plays a vital role. So with lot of efforts, I made a decision to bring myself here and see to that I walk out of here as a new person. That was my journey from an unplanned person to a planned person. Thank you. Thanks for listening.
So today I completed the anti-bribery course in my organization. Did you bribe any of them? No? So why so much of applause only for you? More than the first two. Nevertheless, you are an IT employee, right? So soch mein to bada soch. So why a small farm, small swimming pool? You need to think about acres. That's how IT people think, right? So we are all envious of IT people. So you need to think about a 5-acre farmland with a 1-acre swimming pool. It's not a swimming pool, it's a swimming lake. Yeah? Think big. So I think your wishes will be fulfilled very soon because you work for one of the finest companies. So Ladies and gentlemen, please give a round of applause for the gentlemen and the team. Yeah, now it's going to be a 5-minute break and we will assemble here exactly at 7:20. Thank you. Welcome back. Welcome back to the second session, which is going to be the table topic session. Why the first row is empty? The moment we talk about table topics, we will move back.
They get some time more.
Okay. So if at all, if you are comfortable, please do occupy this. Otherwise, I will feel that I'm addressing my sales conference last week. I get a similar feeling now. Anyway, gentlemen, how many of you do yoga? Oh my goodness. So many people. Because the person who is going to come here is going to ensure that you guys do yoga here. So you bend, you twist, and then ensure that you become much fitter mentally when you go back from stage. But really, she is a yoga practitioner, yoga teacher. But that doesn't mean that she looks very old. She's one of the youngest Toastmaster that you can think of. Whenever she comes onto stage, especially when it comes to table topics, she always starts with actually, and then she speaks. That's the way I hope, actually, the session is going to be extremely fun-filled and loving. So, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to one of the youngest, beloved, sweet Toastmaster, Rashi. That's the only reason I've forgotten her name as well. It's all because of you, Rashi. It's all yours.
Thank you so much for such a lovely introduction. So good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests.
Good evening.
And I shall not start with actually. But yeah. So have you ever tried walking in someone else's shoes? It might seem fun at first, but soon you'll realize that it's either too tight, too loose, or not just your style. And that's what happens when we're trying to imitate others. So it limits us because we weren't meant to walk someone else's path, but rather create our own. So here, today, our topic or theme being imitation is limitation. Let's embrace our quirks, overcome our challenges or fear of standing here, and bring in our creativity to be who we are. For today's table topic questions, make sure that you are not worried about saying the wrong thing, but rather just speaking your heart out. And because he said that I'm a yoga teacher, let's activate your brains. Just pull your earlobes downward and hopefully you'll start thinking better. Okay, so the time duration for table topics is going to be 1 to 2 minutes. 1 minute, the green card is going to be shown up. 1.5 minutes, the yellow card. And 2 minutes, the red card. And a quick tip, just for all of you to remember, have loads of fun. So let's begin with our table topics. A huge round of applause for the audience and myself. The first topic, if you had to imitate someone famous for a day, who would it be? If you had to imitate someone famous for a day, who would it be? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Jacob.
Madam Table Topic Master, guests, Toastmasters, I'm always floored by the table topic session where a table topic lands on my head and I don't know quite what to say. Today the topic I'm trying to talk about is, if I was to imitate or emulate a famous personality, who would it be? I believe, from what I see, Donald Trump is somebody who is so exceptional. I was so sure that he was never going to become the president again, and I'm totally floored that a nation as big as the United States can choose a man like President Donald Trump. Now, when I heard that news that he had won the second role as a president, it quite floored my thinking. I thought in the United States we had a wide collection of human beings, citizens, more so from India, who could clearly see that this is not the person who should be voted into power as the second president of the United States. I know Toastmasters is a platform, you have to keep clear of politics, but I can't help myself saying that this is the biggest blunder which could have happened, which the world is witnessing, that a person who has got a profile of so much criminal kind of a behavior could be voted back into power, and he is given a second stint to shape the future of this world and create so much of problem in all other countries. But on the positive part of it, he's totally anti-China, so it means we are back in the business. India is a hot favorite, and I believe that he's going to make another trip with all his paraphernalia, including the toilet. Thank you. Over to you.
Toastmaster Jacob was just waiting for the right topic. The second topic, originality is overrated. Originality is overrated, and the topic goes to Toastmaster Alok.
Originality is overrated. I don't think so, quite honestly. Originality is not overrated. I think originality is what one needs to bring to the table if one wants to preserve his or her identity. There are a lot of things that one can stand out. I mean, one can copy from others. I mean, you can try to imitate. I think that was, imitate is a theme for today. You can try to imitate others, but like the theme itself says, imitation is a limitation. Till how far can you imitate someone and thrive? What is going to be your USP, as they call unique selling proposition, if you are not being original? Of course, there is this famous adage which also says, fake it till you make it. But then again, if you keep faking it, you'll end up losing yourself. I think I'll have to rest my case this evening. Originality is not underrated, it's not overrated. Originality is something that you need to take with yourself throughout, so that you have your own identity, you have your own niche in whatever you do, and stand out for people. You don't get much far ahead by not choosing to be yourself. Thank you.
So maybe the conclusion that we could draw is originality is underrated and not overrated. The next topic is, can copying someone ever boost your confidence? Can copying someone ever boost your confidence? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Puneeth.
Every time I think of copying, I'm just reminded of this executive standing actually on his knees, bent in an aisle somewhere in the United Kingdom, and trying to measure how high the first bottom shelf is when he gets caught by the security guard saying, "What are you doing here?" And then he's taken to the manager, and the manager is also angry because he's seen this person loiter around the mall for hours and now wants to sit him down and give a piece of his mind, only to discover the man in the suit is the founder of Walmart, the largest chain of retail stores in America. And this wasn't even a Walmart store. And every time I think of that, I think of Kishore Biyani, who I've done a long podcast on, wherein he went around the world trying to copy ideas, bring it to India, put an Indian spin to it, add a Desi angle to it, and do it at scale. So I completely have deep respect and honor for people who copy, because it's really hard to copy and execute it in India. You might have the largest idea, the biggest VC behind you, but I think it's not just copying the idea, because ideas everyone gets, but it's the execution of it. And if you can copy the best of everything available across the world and compile it together, you have something that is worth admiring about. So I would highly encourage you all to go out there and copy it. It's okay if the market says, oh, you're copying this person, you're that person of India and all of that. It's okay. Because at the heart of it, if you see now, if you go to a big bazaar, at least back then, it was nothing like Walmart. And if you go to Walmart, it was nothing like the Kmarts that it copied. It completely has its own organism, because business is an organism, and as you copy, as you implement and evolve, you'll have your own originality in the way you execute it. So please go ahead and copy. You have my permission.
I think that was a really good and fresh take on maybe copying, but with a little bit of tweaks according to your requirements. The next topic is worst thing about being super rich. Worst thing about being super rich. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Guruprasad.
Good evening, Toastmasters. Good evening. So how many of you think I'm super rich? I think it's good that if I'm really super rich, so I wouldn't have come here to sit and practice public speaking. Not required at all. So anyhow, it's good to be evening. At least I should feel that I'm super rich today. So if I have to be super rich, what I have to do? Nothing, right? Everything is there in our hands. So we can imitate whatever everybody does. We need not keep our brain there. So if you don't have money, you will start thinking. And you will try everything. If you have everything with you, your mind does not work. What we do, we keep imitating the wheel. And we spend without any particular reason, which will lead to so many challenges. So better always whatever you want. If you are super rich, what does it mean? It does not have, you cannot change the world, right? So better you earn, you have become a super rich, then yes, you will have a proper way to spend those items. Otherwise, money or whatever, anything which is coming on our way, it will be not worth. Having said that, so I will feel today for the over rich, the super rich, but I am not a super rich person. Thank you.
I think to be super rich, you just have to manifest it, because apparently the world is always listening. So yes, if you want to be super rich, just manifest your way. The next topic is authenticity or adaptability. Authenticity or adaptability. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Ganesh.
Not that I'm at loss of words, but just don't want to give a trite answer. Authenticity or adaptability. I somehow don't like to think in ors. Why not authenticity and adaptability? If you're not authentic, I think people can see it through. Honestly, right? I mean, maybe after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, I think people are smart enough to gauge you, size you up, and just call it fake, if not a deep fake. So the best thing one can do is present ourselves as we are. Like they say, someone who's comfortable in their own skin. I think that's the best thing we can do, because then your natural self comes, and the human connections what you form tend to be enduring. Next, adaptability. Do we have a choice but not to adapt? And think about us as a human race, how we have evolved and adapted throughout centuries. And despite being one of the very fragile species in the world, literally the human species, Homo sapiens, are ruling it just because we have adapted ourselves. So I think to succeed, I think we need to ourselves bring our best self to work or in any interaction, and at the same time learn to adapt to the changing times. I think that is going to be the formidable combination if we have to accelerate and fast forward our journey. That's my take. Thank you so much.
So I think if we want to continue being, I think, I don't know, maybe Gen Zs have to start coming here and learn new things about life. The next topic is being accepted or being different. Being accepted or being different, and the topic goes to Toastmaster Priyanka.
I think we all have been at a certain stage in our life where we all wish to be accepted at a certain place or in a certain forum that we all go into. And I had also gone to a phase where I wanted to be accepted because I thought I was not adaptable, or I thought I was not up to the mark for the kind of social circle that I used to kind of keep going around. And I think it just comes taking a little bit from Anirudh's speech. I think when you are a Cottonian, there is certain perception or a kind of certain things that is expected by a person when you come from a certain place. And when you are a little different from the expectation that a person kind of perceives you, you are kind of questioned. But with time, something I've realized, you want to be accepted or not, it is your own choice. You want to be different or not, it is your own choice. But I think, irrespective to be accepted or different, it all depends on the circumstances. There are certain places where I would love to be accepted, there are certain places I would choose not to be accepted, what may not. There are certain places, yes, I would want to be different so that I could also gel with those kind of people or the kind of skill set they hold, so that I could also be adaptable to that kind of a place or a profession. But at the same time, to just try and be different for the heck of it, definitely not. So I think that should be a personal choice. You want to be accepted or different, and what place do you want to be accepted, not to be, and be different. Over to you.
I think through Toastmaster Priyanka's speech, I realized that life is so weird because when you're in school, you always want to be accepted, but when you're growing older and like wanting to pursue your own thing, you always want to be different. So you have to adapt. The next topic: do kids learn better by imitation? Do kids learn better by imitation? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Srinivas. The one without the surname Bungarala.
So always we have a fight. Who is going to go first on the stage and then call Srinivas?
is easy, both of us will find to go forward. If the topic is difficult, both of us sit relaxed in the backside. Coming back to the topic, as Emily on the topic, do kids copy elders? Yes. People follow people. Right? You heard it right. People follow people. Which means, one fine day, when you realize that you are not speaking properly in the podium or in front of people or in the occasion, you will realize how other people are doing. You would like to imitate that. Imitate, yes. I want to speak like that. Even in Toastmasters, when I walked in first time in front of the hall, I saw people standing confidently here. People started speaking confidently in front of a large audience. This is what I wanted to be. I can speak one-to-one confidently, but not in a large audience. When I do it, why not my kid? Why not my grandkid? It so happened, if you do a small mistake at home, your kids start learning from it. Right from writing, eating food, putting the socks on, everything your kids start copying you. Definitely your kids will learn through. Over to you.
I find it very fun when kids are imitating because I can make them do the funniest things, and it's just so much fun and pure love within them when you see them do all crazy things around you. The next topic is don't stay true to yourself. Don't stay true to yourself. Justify the statement. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Abhay.
Absolutely possible. Because once Lord Brahma had invited the demons and the gods for a feast. So naturally the demons wanted to go and eat first, and they went and told Lord Brahma that wherever we go we always get insulted and we are always served after the gods. So this time we want to be served first. Lord Brahma said absolutely fine, and he said, I will make only one condition, that a rod of about 3 foot will be tied to each of your hands. And then you will be served. So all the Rakshasas sat in one line and they were served food. And they tried to eat. They picked up the food, but since they could not do this action, the food never reached their mouth. They were absolutely true to themselves, absolutely greedy people, could not eat. When the plates were taken off and the gods were served, the gods made only one condition, that we will sit opposite each other. And the food was laid out. So each god fed the god opposite to him. So if you're staying true to yourself and being selfish, then things can go wrong. But if you're true to yourself and want to help others, then things will always go right for you. I hope you have answered.
So the actual question here was stay true to yourself, originally what I had thought of, but I thought let's just make things more difficult for him. But I think I proved myself wrong. So the next topic is one worst advice that you can give to the audience. One worst advice that you can give to the audience, and the topic goes to Toastmaster Akash.
The worst advice I would give to the audience is don't wake up late every day. Because today, yesterday my exams just got over, and I thought today I'm just going to relax. I bunked my college today, and I stayed at home and I told myself I'm going to sleep till 11 o'clock today. And the first thing that happened today morning that I remember was at 6:30. When I was sleeping, I began to hear some yoga music outside my room. It's like noise was continuously coming. So when I opened the door and looked at what was happening to my mother was doing yoga. And then when my sleep gets disturbed, I am very, very angry. So what I did was I just took the remote of the TV and turned the TV off. And that was something I shouldn't have done. And it's ruined my entire day today.
and my mother has shown all that frustration of what I did today morning on me for the entire day. I got my food late and many such things that I prefer not to mention. So please wake up early, because you're not going to mess with certain people in your house because your entire day will go. So wake up early every day. Thank you.
Toastmaster Akash, Om is a noise. I mean, I wake up at 6 in the morning and expect my students to do 8 rounds of Om, but okay. The next topic is your biggest limitation at present. Your biggest limitation at present. And the topic goes to Toastmaster Shrishakti.
My biggest limitation at present is time. The reason I say this is as we grow in our career, I start to feel that my time is being required by a lot of people, and sometimes if you don't say no, it's just you're just taken for granted. Right? So I just realized that a month ago, the day starts very early, maybe around 8, 9, and then it goes till the night 8, 9, and then I don't put a boundary, and I feel it's then I started to create a boundary for myself to say, okay, I would love to have a start time and the end time, and that's it. And then I put in my outlook very clearly that I'm out of office after this time. So the meetings were falling in place. And then I see that there is a positive change in the way I work overall, right? So I feel the biggest limitation I think everyone has is the time. I think we need to make sure that we utilize it to our fullest capacity, right? And on what we plan to do. Over to you.
I wish time was unlimited, because then I would have gotten to do so many things that I don't know what I want to do with still. The next topic is, what habits would you want to copy from someone? What habits would you want to copy from someone? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Srinivas.
So, what habits I would like to copy? Since Rashi is here, she tells that she does Om 6 a.m. I would like to copy that. Imagine software engineering life, right? We work on a USR shifts. And 6 a.m. is very, and that too in Bangalore climate, that too in November and December. How can she think about Om and all? My Om is in dreams only. But I know yoga is very much important for our life, and this is something which I've been cracking for last 1 year, and I've been blaming for Bangalore climate or my job or all sort of things, late night calls. But one thing is sure, getting up in morning gives you a personal time, and how Rashi is able to get that one, this is one thing which I want to connect with her offline and understand what makes you motivated to get up at 6 a.m. and leave off all the good fun of nightlife. How can you do that? That is one thing which I will definitely learn from each one of you who gets up in the morning. I think that one change I will make for 2025 for sure.
I think it's just, I don't know what got me inspired, but maybe it's just the people trying to do new things, fun things in life. Yoga is fun, I'm saying that.
it's already re-quoted what Oscar had already said, like, be your authentic self, everything else will be taken. See, most of the time, we spend our energy to prove something, to hide something, to protect something, So when you use your energy for those things, you will never have energy to create something. So the point is being relatable or being unique. I feel that being unique is the way you can be relatable. Because each one here is in their own way unique, correct? And that's how we relate. So when I speak about something which is personal to me, for example, I spoke about my daughter in one of the speeches. And some of the audience came and told me that when you spoke about your daughter, I was thinking about my dad, or I was thinking about my daughter. So I was trying to be unique, but I felt that when you share your own personal stories, you don't have to preach someone. All we have to do is just be vulnerable on stage, be authentic, be unique, and share what we have, little things we learn, and I think people can relate with you.
Toastmasters is to actually be your authentic self and show your true emotions here on stage, because it actually brings out a vulnerable side of you here. And the next topic is if imitation is limitation, what is originality? If imitation is limitation, what is originality? And the topic goes to Toastmaster Shrishakti.
Actually, I have no idea what originality is. Because I was watching a movie today, not sure how many of you have watched this. It's a 2022 movie, Rocky or Rani Ki Prem Kahani, right? Watching it today, everything seemed great, right? It seemed like a very new premise. But then I realized I had watched a movie with a very similar premise almost a decade or more ago, which is a Telugu movie called Bommarillu. Pretty much the same concept. Now, this is the one thing that I keep stumbling onto. Every time I read more, watch more, and consume more content, the more I realize there is no original ideas. All you can do is learn from whatever you're consuming, use that inspiration, and put your own spin on it. And that is the crux of originality. You don't just emulate what you have studied and learned till that point. You put your own spin on it. Like how Puneeth spoke about a founder who puts his own desi spin on foreign concepts. You just need to put your soul into someone else's story. And it no longer is their story. It becomes your story. And that is the only way you can make something original. Don't think about, oh, I'm copying this person. This is plagiarism. It's only plagiarism if the soul that you're putting into it is not yours. Until that point, it's plagiarism. But as soon as you put your heart and soul into it, that's it. It's yours. And that's how you bring out originality. Thank you, and over to you, Table Talking Master.
A statement that I would like to highlight was put your soul into someone else's story and it will be yours. And I think for a conclusion, I would just like to say that through this whole table topic session, one thing I realized is limitation is also imitation, or it leads towards imitation, because when you limit yourself, when you bound yourself to not stand on the stage or to not speak in front of an audience, you're actually just trying to be within you and not explore the other side of you which might be existing within. So I would like to conclude by saying, please be inspired, please do yoga and practice
Sheep, are you from Kannur? Are you from Kannur? Because you know, when you need to travel from Bangalore to Kannur, there is a forest in between, which is called as Nagarpalli forest. And you can't travel after 6. Okay? So people who need to travel to Kannur used to take a detour and then they reach. So that's what he did. So that's, I thought it's my practice. Rather than coming on to stage this place, so he took a detour and then he came. And Priyanka, when did you become a philosopher? Such a simple topic, she made it so complex and my head was spinning for a while. But brilliantly spoken. And I think everybody spoke really well, ladies and gentlemen. I think kudos to the table topic master and everybody who came on stage. And now it's time for our general evaluator who is quenching her thirst now. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together to welcome the general evaluator for today's meeting.
Absolute pleasure to share the stage with him for the 4th time. But he told me, if I had known you were the GE, I wouldn't have taken this role. But I'm saying it's absolute pleasure to be sharing the stage with you. Good evening, Toastmasters.
Good evening.
I congratulate the committee for taking this topic or the theme, imitation is limitation. I think for the Toastmasters, it is something which is very, very important. We see DTM Rajdeep coming up on the stage, DTM Anand coming on the stage, DTM Toastmaster Vaidya coming on stage, our president coming on stage, and feel like, oh, yeah, I want to be like that. Don't you feel that?
Yes.
Imitation is a limitation. The story that comes to my mind is that of a cab seller. A cab seller who slept near the tree and the monkeys were on the monkeys took all his cabs. First thing he did is he took the stone and threw. The monkeys threw back whatever they could get hold of. Then he tried to climb the tree. The monkeys climbed even higher. Then it struck. He took his cap and threw, and all the monkeys did the same thing. And who profited by it? The cap seller got all this stuff. So imitation is a limitation. Be that unique you. When you are imitating, you are losing your credibility. Who can be better than you yourself? Develop your uniqueness. And we, the evaluation team, would take our humble suggestions for each one of you. It's not only for the role takers, it's each one of you. All the suggestions what we are giving. So let's start my job, or let me start my job as the general evaluator for today and with the Sergeant at Arms. No one, everyone who came into the room, you are not disappointed. The room was impeccable. With every tiny detail catered to. If you saw it, they started it. Doing the Sergeant at Arms team started it. And the committee, some of the committee members started it an hour before. Now, and for Amrit, who did the acting Sergeant at Arms today, the booming voice and the high energy, it just kicked off the meeting in a very good way. If I have a suggestion for you as Sergeant at Arms, try not to use slangs like Malu, which you can use in a daily conversation but not on the stage. For that wonderful otherwise, to kickstart the meeting with such good energy, let's give a big round of applause. Your introduction for the president was the really apt one, I would say. Because when I walked into the room 5:45, I could see a coach just like Jose Moreno. He, usually the president, practices his speech or the presidential address, but today he kept aside his presidential address and was helping one of the speakers. I felt he is living the example of the Toastmaster spirit. Everyone, that example would definitely have ignited a thought in anyone who came and saw what he did to help the budding Toastmasters. So today's introduction for the president was really an apt one. Then he had his story, which was a picture-perfect explanation of how the high jump, anybody who heard the story could, picturize how he is jumping, isn't it? So that was so well done. With a very simple words, the theme of the meeting was brought out. Except for the minute long, not so long pauses, I think you had a very powerful message. Your intro for the Toastmaster of the day and explaining what is Vaidyanathan to us was good, because that also gave us how we can attempt the table topics. So for a good job done, let's give the big round of applause. The secretary who came up on stage, a computer engineer from RV College, he, on stage and off stage, he is doing an impeccable job, I would say. The minutes of the meeting are always on time. The YouTube link, which will help people to catch up, those who are not able to attend the meeting, to catch up everything. The committee also deserves a big round of applause along with the secretary. Then came the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vaidya. Again, he had a wonderful story. And when he came to the room today, I saw him just glancing at the board and internalizing the entire set of role players. And I should say, this is what Toastmasters, the Bangalore Toastmasters, being the president of the Bangalore Toastmasters, has one glance is enough for keeping the role going in such a good form. And his hilarious comments, always, we all look forward to idea for all these, his comments and the humor which he brings. You all witnessed it when Rashi came up. Only a seasoned Toastmaster can bring such expertise to the stage. Now, again, one suggestion I have is you convinced all of us, yes, imitation is a limitation. Here the German submarine had come and all the boilers stopped. And then one the next sentence you said. But imitation is also good, but I talk about it in some other meeting. And I thought you could have avoided that, but you are convincing all of us very well that imitation is a limitation. So there something very minute. Otherwise, for a fantastic job done. Let's give a big round of applause. And came the table topic master, who had such crisp, thought-provoking table topics. What I also liked, around 14 to 15 people had, I think almost everybody would have got a chance today on the stage, which is why people are attracted towards the Toastmasters meeting. So I feel that was a very big achievement on the table topic masters part. And topics were also good, you know, there were two options, so you could choose anyone, and almost everyone could speak or could do justice to the topics given to them. Rashi, maybe this is not a prepared speech, so you can keep your the paper here so that you don't have to look back for the topics. Otherwise, for a great job done. Let's give a big round. Let's move to the prepared speeches. So we had 3 evaluators evaluating icebreakers. Is it difficult? I feel yes. To come up on stage and give your first speech. So let's move to the evaluation of the icebreakers. The first speech by Toastmaster Anirudh is evaluated by Toastmaster Chaitra. Okay.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and guests.
Good evening.
I think everyone would agree with me that Toastmaster Anirudh was absolutely fabulous on stage today. Toastmaster Anirudh, one thing that really struck me was how natural you were on stage. I know that when we talked during the break, you told me that you were very nervous giving your speech, but that is not something I noticed at all. In fact, I made a note about how relaxed and easy you were on stage. So that's a strong point for you, Toastmaster Anirudh. And what is one thing that made you natural? That is how expressive you were. For example, you talked about how you had insecurities when you were in school, but in 8th standard, you came and spoke on stage, and surprisingly, you received a thunderous applause. And right there, I saw your eyes widen. Okay? Now that's something very difficult for someone starting out their Toastmasters journey, but you did it so well. And I think being expressive is something you're so good at. And then you went on to talk about your life journey, right? The rest of your journey. And something we hear in the advertisement space is show, don't tell. And I especially liked how you talked about your radio ad journey. And you actually gave us a demo of one of the ads you did. And that made it so much more vivid. You also had a well-structured and chronological speech that was very easy for everyone to follow. So you spoke about your school days, and then your career journey, and you ended with your Toastmasters journey, right? Now there are a couple of things that I think I have suggestions for you to take your speech to the next level. So when you started, you gave this beautiful quote: "Be your authentic self, because everyone else is taken." That was a wonderful quote, Anirudh. But when you started with good evening, right? So that took away the impact of the beginning of your speech. So if there was one thing you could have done, it was make the opening impactful, right? So just start directly with this, with a punchy opening. You also gave us a great journey of your life, but it was not a 360-degree view. For example, you spoke mainly about three aspects: your school days, your career journey, and why you joined Toastmasters. But some parts were missing, like your family. Did you always live in Bangalore? And what are your hobbies and interests? What are the things that make you you? So for this, it would have been good to see your icebreaker speech. So Toastmaster Anirudh, you have a strong stage presence, and that is your strength. But if you focus on your content, add more impact, and for the icebreaker, a 360-degree view, that would have taken the speech to the next level. Back to the team.
So the suggestions you got, what you missed in your icebreaker, you can use in the next speeches. For such a great icebreaker and a great evaluation, let's give a 100 round of applause. The next icebreaker by Toastmaster Aranya is evaluated by Toastmaster Brian. Over to you, Brian.
Art of evolving. A very good evening, Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Aranya in particular. Good evening. We all have dreams, right? But what sets apart dreamers from achievers is that achievers take the first step. Today, we saw Aranya take her first step in her journey into confidence building. Aranya, I will be evaluating your speech in 3 subsections. The first would be structure. You had a very wonderful structure. You had gone in a chronological order. You had the most important elements that are needed in an icebreaker: the past, the present, and the future. Moving on, your style. I have been a Toastmaster for over a year, and I pretty much saw you stuck to our quote today: limitation is limitation. Because that was one of the most original speeches that I've ever seen. Because your speech was a transformation, was a blend between your ancient roots in North Karnataka, your studies in BBA analytics, and your future competition as well. So that is regarding style, and also you in your style. You had a good stage presence as well. You had body language and voice modulation. So you mastered those arts in your art of evolving. So the third and the most important would be content. You had, as I mentioned, past, present, and the future. And also you had planted subtle humor in your speech so that you allowed the audience to, decide on whether to activate on the humor or not. So that is a very apt way of implanting humor in your speech. Humor building in your first speech is a very difficult task because displaying humor shows confidence. Overall, when you mastered in your content, your style, by giving us one of the most original icebreakers ever, there is one small suggestion that I would like to give you, which is in the structure aspect. I had previously mentioned you have the past, present. In a structure, you have the introduction, your body, and your conclusion. Whereas that was present in your speech, I would like to go into the subset of the structure.
in your body. You started off initially with the past, moved on to your present BBA, and again went on to your past in theatrics and over to the future. I would not recommend such a manner because for me it was quite distracting. Overall, Times Fresh Face is one of the biggest events in India with over 2,00,000 participants. We have there a soon-to-be winner of that event. Congratulations, Aranya, on taking the very first step, and back to you.
As our evaluator pointed out, this is a small step to a big achievement. Toastmaster Aranya, all the very best for your further speeches and for your Times Fresh Face competition, for a great icebreaker and a great evaluation. Let's give a huge round of applause. The next icebreaker by Toastmaster Shreyas will be evaluated by Toastmaster Shreya. Shreyas.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my target speaker, Toastmaster Shreyas.
Good evening.
Thank you. The theme is imitation is limitation, and even though your name emulates the elegance of mine, I'll let it slide. In this Bangalore weather, you are on a path to make a perfect hot masala chai. And let's taste how you went on about it. First thing I would like to point out is you started out by telling how you got independence from your mother, but not your mother getting independence from you. And I think everyone in this audience can relate to that, right? Yes. And I think no matter how old you get, your mother can never get independence from you. So everyone could relate to that. And the next point would be how you were humorous throughout the speech. Not only if it was an arranged marriage, but everyone, I could hear giggles like all around the room throughout the speech, and not just with the married men. I could hear everyone giggle and enjoy speech and bond with you really well. And one more thing I observed is you, for an icebreaker, you had really good eye contact with the whole room. You were not looking here and leaving them out. You were not just looking here and leaving them out. You were including everyone in your speech, and they could really connect with you on that terms. These were the perfect spices that you added in your tea, but that missed a little bit sugar. And let's see with what quantity you could add so that you could make a perfect tea. I'm not removing the measuring cup, just a second. So, you said that you were a proud software engineer, right? And that you cleared the interview. So, in that case, you are proud. You're mentioning the audience that you're proud. Show it on your face, like, yeah, I am proud that I am a software engineer. Not many people can say that, honestly, I definitely can't, because I took BSc, but that's another chapter. And one more aspect is that I was sitting at the last bench, last row, and I could hear you, but it was not that clear. And if you could have used a mic, it would have given you more confidence, and everyone could hear you more clearly. With that, we enjoy your perfect tea. We enjoy your tea and look forward to more of your drinks. Over to you.
I hope all of you enjoyed the tea, especially Shreyas in particular. So you can work on it and come up with your speeches. We will look forward to all the three people, Toastmasters, who had the icebreakers. We would love to see you on the stage again and again and again. Now we come to a close for the speeches and the evaluation. Now we have three people who were watching every person who came up on stage. A working on people who came up on the stage. Those are the tag team players. Let's see first how we fare on our time. Toastmaster Anand would give this report on that.
Good evening, everyone, once again. Good evening. Speaker 1 took 6 minutes 20 seconds. Speaker 2, Toastmaster Aranya, took 4 minutes 41 seconds. Speaker 3, Toastmaster Shreyas, took 4 minutes 20 seconds. In table topics, only one speaker exceeded the time limit, which is Toastmaster Jacob. All of them are qualified for the voting. In evaluation round, evaluator 1, Toastmaster Chaitra, took 3 minutes 55 seconds, which is a bit above grace period, which is disqualified for the voting. Brian took 3 minutes 24 seconds, and Shreya took 2 minutes 46 seconds. That is the number.
For our R's and ums and filler words, Toastmaster Mahesh.
Fellow Toastmasters and guests, so one of the building blocks of a successful meeting is controlled usage of R words and filler words. And I would proudly say this was a successful meeting because everyone, each and every speakers were well in limit of their filler words and controlling their filler words. And on a special note, the MC of the day and Toastmaster of the day, it's not an easy task. Most of the times, the R counters are exceeded by the Toastmasters of the day. And today, Toastmaster of the day, Vaidyanathan has not even spoke a single filler word or a single catch word. Let's give him a thanks. Over to the general level.
And next we have the grammarian, Toastmaster Himani.
Good evening again. So some good usages of English language during today's meeting were incredibly well. I'm flowed, biggest blunder, rest my case, I'm not at loss of words, size you up, comfortable in own skin, true to yourself, put your own spin, room was impeccable. Some not so good usages are break her ice should be break the ice, overage should be super rich. Both of us have a fight should be we both fight. A large audience instead of a it should be the large audience. Entire day will go should be entire day will go for a toss or something. What makes you motivated should be what motivates you. Dreams only. A lot of us use only, so dreams only should be dreams. That's it. The word of the day was used by Toastmaster Vaidyanathan, Toastmaster Rashi, Toastmaster Jacob, Toastmaster Priyanka, Toastmaster Srinivas, and Toastmaster Vishal. And with that, let the report and
We should emulate all those who use the word of the day today successfully. Every Toastmasters meeting, let it be our motto to learn one new word. So let's give a big round of applause to our tag team players. Time on And from my part, a humble suggestion to the committee, if we can have, I know it is very difficult being a VP education, past VP education, but if you can have the icebreakers spread over the weeks and have different levels of speeches, it will be one step higher, or it will take the club one notch higher. But I definitely know the technicalities of it. Still, it's a wish from every Toastmasters part. I give it as one suggestion. With that, I hope you enjoyed today's meeting, and I hand over to Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, ma'am. And a round of applause once again for our general evaluator. Brian D'Souza, you have a good structure. Your speech had a good structure. When you evaluated, you said you have a good structure. No, your speech. Right? Anyway, and then I had some free time. I was reading the white book. A is before Y. Y. In my name, what A should be after Y. But otherwise, it's a fabulous meeting. Everybody enjoyed every bit of today's meeting. And I think the committee deserves a round of applause. Actually, our table topic master was superb. And the structure that you used was even better. Over to the president. And the pass, but see, I'm getting old. I forget more than what I remember. So the passcode for today's meeting is 1455. Did I say it right? 1455. Yeah. So you will have a link on your in your WhatsApp. So check and then you can vote for the best speaker, evaluator, and then the vote takers. With that, it's over to our beloved president.
Thank you, Vaidya, for that wonderful job done. I know all of you are busy casting your votes, so let me make some announcements so you can keep your ears open and keep your fingers busy. The election committee, headed by our immediate past President Priyanka, has announced that the nominations are open for roles to the committee. I request all those who desire to serve the club to please file in your nomination. Again, as mentioned in the last meeting, as announced, please consider that it is going to be a learning for you, but at the same time, you need to be able to devote the time to serve the club. That is very important because otherwise, the club is going to suffer and the members are going to suffer. So please understand that you have to devote time to the club, and that's a great learning in time management and delegation. And I think there is no other place that you can have a practical learning this way with support from everybody concerned. So it's a great opportunity, but be prepared to serve while trying to lead the club. That is number one, and happy to announce that our centenary Lead to Express and Rise program in our St. Joseph's PU College, we're having the final session on Sunday. So thank everybody who supported this program. And meanwhile, our Speechcraft program is also running its course. Yes, those were the announcements. And now we have one certificate for level completion. This goes to Toastmaster Shreyas, a goal who today completes her level 1 of the past leadership development. Well, the Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award. Now, this role sometimes seems so very easy to do, but let me tell you, I've been in that seat for some time, and it is a tough job because you need to be focused for the entire meeting. This is a very tough job, and you cannot afford to even blink an eye. This goes to our timer, the Best Auxiliary Role Taker Award, Toastmaster Anand. The Best Role Taker person. He's a very simple person, and that's something that I wanted to introduce while introducing him to the role. Who believes in originality, on the ancient works of Saint Tiruvallur. Please welcome the Best Role Taker Award, Toastmaster Vaidyanathan. The author of the Best Table Topic Speaker Award. I think like Fosbury did, he did a small trick and a twist to adaptability or authenticity. He made it authenticity and adaptability goes to Toastmaster Ganesh Pai. The Best Evaluator Award. This goes to the lady who prepared masala chai here and wonderful, who has had a great day today, having completed a level. So this goes to that, adding to that, Toastmaster Shreyas. I think she's completed the level on a high. This Best Speaker Award. Well, next time you have a headache, you don't have to take dark tablets. You just need to listen to this person. The man who enthralled us today with his voiceover also, Toastmaster Anirudh. Request the guests to first collect their snacks and please join Toastmaster Brian outside, who will give a small briefing on about our club and how to join the club. And the members, I request all of you to please stay back, have the snacks and network. Thank you. I adjourn meeting number 1455. Have a great evening and a great